All right, hello guys, Trench Forge Armory, and today we're making cordage. We're gonna make cordage from scratch. This is yucca cordage. It's been used for thousands of years by everyone who's needed to tie something together, and it goes pretty quickly. So the basic idea behind rope making is that you're taking these long strands of string, basically, and you're making those into you're twisting them and into a cordage, basically. You can tell this is real cordage by the fact that if I untwist it, it retwists. So you're taking all of these fibers and making them into one solid length of material through splicing and twisting and all that good stuff. Step in the process is to pulp the thing you're working with. So if you're working with nettle, you need to do that with the nettle. If you're working with yucca or agave, you need to do that. So we're gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna do that with a baton over a piece of wood, and then you soak it, and then you weave it together. And the weaving is a simple. This is just a 2-strand weave, and we'll get into that. Alright, so the first step with making cordage out of yucca is you need to get a yucca. This is a soft leaf yucca, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the bottom of those branches, and I'm going to take off slices. And so get as many as you need. I would, yeah, because these things die and just rot away, so you can get away with taking a couple. And then there are a couple of plants, so I'll take 2 or 3 from each plant, and there are 4 plants, and that'll be enough. So when processing for yucca, for agave, don't, because this agave contains a chemical called calcium oxalate, which forms into a spike and is a skin irritant. Very small, like fiberglass. The juice is what matters. Don't get the juice on your hands. Don't work with this stuff, and if you have to remove it, use a flamethrower or hire someone. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. So the next thing you'll need, you're going to need a drawing die. So I have here just like a 2x8, a pine 2x8, and then over here I have some places for a ipe drawing die. So this is just a piece of ipe. This has a domed top, and that just fits right on in. You want to use a hardwood for your drawing die. If you don't, it just doesn't work out well. And I have a baton, and this is, I think, a hickory. It's like an old shovel handle hickory baton. And basically, you're just striking them together and drawing a piece of yucca through. Making cordage, you somehow have to remove all the pulp out of the entire piece and do an entire leaf. The process I forgot to mention is the process known as scraping, which happens later on in this time lapse. The process of scraping basically eliminates all of the pulp that you didn't get out with your baton. Scrape from the bottom down, because that's where the fibers terminate. They terminate towards the bottom. And what I've done here is I have a handle, and I just removed it, and I scrape it in 2 different sections. All right, so now you're going to want to fill some vessel with water. Fill the vessel with water. With enough water is what you want. You want enough water where you can totally submerge whatever you're trying to, or in this case, the yucca that you've processed. You take your yucca and put it into the bucket. And so I got a lot of water. And see how green that is? Like that's all from like the saponins in the yucca. All right. And you could probably do like 2 more rinses and get a better product, but that's good enough for me. You're gonna wanna find a space where this can just easily dry. So I'm gonna unfold it, straighten out all the fibers, then kind of spread it along so it dries. And you could probably hang it, and I might actually hang it on this S-hook. Oh well, we'll see. There it is. All that'll dry, and you're gonna want to return to it when it's not wet to the touch. So right now it's wet to the touch and kind of sticks together. Return to it when it's not. Hang it, put it on a flat piece or whatever. It works all the same. If you leave it out in the sun will bleach it,
And that is a super cool cordage. It looks like silky, white kind of material. Very interesting. So play around with it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Just go get more.
Alright, so you've gotten your rope fiber. It's dry as a bone, and it's just sitting there waiting to go. In order so basic principle behind rope making, if I grab my rope here, is that your threads are twisted around each other. So they have a twist that makes them interlock. You're twisting those in one direction, so you're twisting those in one direction, and you're counter twisting them in a different direction. And that's best explained by actually doing it. So in order to start a rope, you're going to want to take an amount of fiber that's going to be about your rope thickness. Take this, kind of comb it out just a little bit, make it purty. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to line these up, but not evenly. So you're going to want to line them up maybe like this, and then you're going to want to take your end and you're going to want to like hold it, and then you're going to take you're going to twist one set of fibers in one direction. So in this case, I'm twisting them clockwise, and turn them all over counterclockwise. So just that again, twist counterclockwise, turn them over clockwise. Twist, counter twist. 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 You're gonna tangle up the other end of your rope, and that's fine. You can just untangle it, and you're just gonna keep weaving. Twist, counter twist. Alright, so there you go. I think that this bit of fiber over here is getting a little bit thin. There are a couple ways you can deal with that. If you think that this fiber over here is a little bit too thick, you can move over fiber. So you can just take some amount of it and move it over to this side. So I'm going to do that. Just a little bit. Force those fibers all the way down until they reach the other side. And then just splice them out and start weaving again. There are a couple of ways to weave in a new strand. The first is through a process of splicing like this, where you're putting this up against the two halves like so. If you choose to stagger your rope like I've done here, what works particularly well is if you take new fiber and you put it in just right on it. So you're adding the length of the next cord, and you can do that for the other side as well. So what I like to do is I like to find the thinner end, because the thicker end is going to create a lump from this size of coil to that size of coil. The rope is gonna look all cattywampus and wonky. So what you want to do is you want to take the thinner end, so in this case that's this end here, and you're going to want to find the meeting point, the origin, if you will, of your fiber. I kind of lost it, but oh well. Keep everything lined up nice and straight, and you're going to want to take this end and you're going to want to put it just a little bit over. So now you're thickening that, and you're also adding in fiber on this side to compensate for gaining fiber on the other side, and then you're just going to want to weave that together. When you're weaving in new fiber, you're making a clockwise twist, turning it counterclockwise. Clockwise twist, turning it counterclockwise. Like so. Alright, so you've come to the end of your rope. You're done weaving. You're done with whatever, or you gotta move on or something, and you're done. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to cut off them to their even. You're gonna want to pull them together, like so. Maybe twist them together, whatever, and then you're gonna want to tie an overhand knot. Slip it up so that it's right on the edge of your woven rope, because you don't want to be wasting that, and tighten it. And there you go. Now you got a little end. That's nice. Or any other way you would weave, you would just stop a rope from untying. And there's one more step after this, and that's to go over the entire thing with a torch, because there are these little bit of fiber. There's just this little bit of fiber on the entire piece, and that's something you don't want on your rope. So the last step in the process of rope making is to burn off all of those fibers. But you want to be careful not to burn through the rope.
As you can see, there's a difference between the burned, which is much cleaner and nicer, and the unburned, which is just more raggedy. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.